Before you can make 10K, you have to be able to make 2K. This is the simplest understanding of strategy that I can give you, and I want to tell you the 4 things that you need to get right in order to hit £2,000 cash months consistently in your online business, but then having it as an actual foundation to scale to 10K months. Because you can hit 2K in a really kind of messy, unorthodox way, but it won't be consistent and it won't be scalable. I want to show you how you can hit 2K, up to 5K even with this method, in the most straightforward, nervous system friendly way, so that you don't run into the problems of overwhelm, you don't run into the problems of hiding and not taking action, and you're building something that can consistently bring you in an income. So these are the 4 things that you need to know, and if you can nail these 4 things and do them really well, you will be making consistent money in this day and age on the internet. So the first thing is your strategy. Now, we need to have a strategy in multiple different areas of the business in order to make this sustainable for the long term. So the first thing is understanding your pricing strategy. So if you want to make £2,000 every single month from your business, you need to know how many sales I need to make at what price point to get to that point. So for instance, if you were going to work with one-to-one client each month, you would need to charge £2,000 to get that amount of money in. If you were going to work with 2 one-to-one clients, it would be £1,000 for each person. But say for instance, you instead want to sell a group program or an online course or even a membership, those numbers will then change quite dramatically to the point where maybe you need 4 people or 5 people or 10 sales. But you need to understand what that number is for you. And you need to be comfortable with 2 things in the scenario. 1, are you comfortable with the price that you're going to charge? Can you say it out loud and feel confident in asking people to give you that amount of money? And 2, can you feel confident in the amount of people that will need to give you that money? So if you are saying, I want £2,000 from one client, are you comfortable that you could get £2,000? And are you comfortable asking one person for that sale? And you've got to find the sweet spot in that scale, because naturally only having to make 1 sale feels really good. But if you're asking for an amount of money that you could never dream of one person giving you, you're never going to make that sale because the belief doesn't back the offer that you're making. So you've got to find the sweet spot of, okay, I feel like I could make 4 £500 sales. That feels comfortable for me. So that's what I'm going to start with. Whatever your numbers are, they're perfect. They're literally perfect. Okay, the second thing is then saying, I know that I want to have 4 people buy something that costs £500. So how do I make sure that my offer aligns with that amount of money? How do I make sure that my offer is worth the £500? And you can then outline your offer strategy. What are you going to include? What's going to be the unique selling point about it? What's going to make it different from other people? You know, how are you going to position yourself? All of that sort of strategy around the offer that you're going to create. Then you need to have a tech strategy. So if you're a complete technophobe, don't worry. There are limited options in tech that you can use, all the way up to if you absolutely love tech and you want to have all the bells and whistles, there's that as well. Like, you need to choose the tech strategy that suits you in your business. So I always say to clients, you can make £2,000 every single month online through like the simplest method of having a Google Doc as your sales page, a PayPal link to take money from people, and an Instagram account to start selling on Instagram. If you want to get to the point where you're automating and you're getting consistent income and you're starting to scale, you're going to need a bit more software and a bit more tech. But to get started, you don't actually need to make it that complicated. You don't need websites, you don't need a million different platforms that do a million different things. You just need to keep it simple and build your tech strategy to say, this is what I have access to, or this is what I'm comfortable using, or this is the amount of money I'm comfortable on spending on tech. And then build your strategy so that everything else you do falls within that tech strategy. You're not then suddenly saying, oh, and now I need this, and now I need that, and adding in a whole bunch of things. You want to keep it really, really like focused. And then the last piece of strategy that you want is your nervous system strategy. So business is hard. Yeah, running a business is uncertain. The market is uncertain. Things go up and down. We have recessions, we have pandemics, we have all sorts of good things in the world. And realistically, none of that should stop you from taking action in your business. None of that should stop you showing up. And for a lot of people, their nervous system is so overloaded and like dysregulated that they're not able to take the action that they want to. They're not able to show up in the way that they want to. So you need to have a strategy around how are you going to show up when your nervous system doesn't want you to. How are you going to break tasks down, change the dynamic, reframe? You know, perspective is everything in this game. So how are you going to get a hold of your nervous system, get a hold of your overwhelm, and make it something that you can actually harness as a power? Because that is what is going to start making a big difference for you. So once you've nailed your strategy, that first piece of the puzzle, you then move into your offer. You have to have an absolutely no-brainer, like amazing offer that people want to buy. And when I say people, I mean your ideal clients. Your people need to want to buy it. Now, this is a really, really key idea that you've got to think about. A lot of people, when they're starting their first business, they have a general idea of who they want to help. They have a general idea of how they can help people, what they can do, but you might not feel overly confident. It's really, really important that when you're creating your offer, you spend time thinking about what is it that makes your offer the offer for people to consider. So what bonuses are you going to include? What offer structure are you going to use for your audience? How are you going to make sure that people see your offer and they think this is the exact solution that I am wanting to have in my business, to get in my world, to, you know, solve my problem? And you just want to keep asking yourself that question. How can I make sure that my offer is always solving the most sort of immediate problem for my ideal client? And that's going to help you in creating an offer, but then also it's going to help you start creating social media content, sales pages, all of this good stuff. So while you're building your offer, you need to make sure that you tick off 3 really specific things. So the first one is it solves a problem for a specific group of people who are your ideal clients. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is that you actually have a written up sales page that talks to their pain, that talks to the solution, that talks to how they're going to move as a person in the world once they have the desire that they want. And then you need to have a PayPal button on that page that somebody can give you money. Okay? If you don't have those 3 things, you do not have an offer that somebody can buy and give you money. You will not make money in your business. It's as simple as that. If you do not have an offer, you cannot make money. So once you've got your strategy, you nail down your offer, and then comes the third and probably the most triggering of all of the phases. So the third phase is the awareness strategy. Now, the awareness strategy is how you get your offer in front of new people every single day. So this is about growing a social media account. This is about networking. This is about running Facebook ads. This is about showing up and actually saying, I have something of value in the world to sell, and I'm going to put it out into the world so that people know. The point of an awareness strategy is to make you an option for people. So people know that you have something that can help them, and they know that you're a person who is, you know, has created this offer and is helping people in the world. And that means that you become an active choice for that person. So you need to think about how can you position yourself as an active choice. Now, the key thing here, and for all new business owners, when you're looking at £2,000 months, you want one platform. You heard me, one platform, no more. So a lot of people make the mistake of trying to be on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, start a YouTube channel, getting on TikTok, making sure they've got a Pinterest, making sure they've got a website and all their SEO is working. No. Okay, when you're starting out, you want one platform, and there's a couple of phases you need to go through. Okay, so when you start out your awareness strategy, the first phase is becoming comfortable with being visible. So it's that nervous system calming, that making sure that you can engage and control your nervous system to put yourself out into the world. The next is the habit of posting. So I always say to my clients, we're going to do a stretch where you post every single day for 90 days. And you become the person who posts on social media. You get past the challenge of, oh, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to post, I don't know how to create this, I don't know how to do this. You get past all of that because you become the person who posts every single day for 90 days in a row. And then once you've done that, you go back and you look through all of the data and insights and you look at what actually performed, and you take that and then you start creating really good content. You start creating content that is on a schedule, maybe 3 times a week, 4 times a week. You no longer have to do every single day. But the quicker that you post and the more you post, the better data you get to then create that overall structure of awareness to say, this is what my audience is looking for. These are the people that buy from me and this is what they want to hear. These are the questions I can answer for them. This is how I can show up for them. They prefer video over written content, or they prefer, graphics over static posts. You can just go through this version and say, this is what people want from me, and now I'm going to create content in this way. And it is so powerful. And you start to then get that consistency of people following you, liking your posts, engaging with you, seeing you as a leader in the industry, seeing you as somebody who has something to say. The final piece of the puzzle is the automation. So this is about creating the consistency of every single month signing those 4 clients, rather than it being do a big launch and then not have any more sort of energy to go out and post and get people in. So this is about creating the actual funnel system, creating an email list of engaged buyers, and actually going through the process where we say we're going to go out and reach larger groups of people. We're going to have a system that is more automated. We're going to add in an email management platform from a tech point of view. And we're going to build this overall function that says, now I can show up and I can sell and I can create in a much more structured way. Now, the beauty of this is that once you've created this platform and your funnel is consistently bringing you in your £2,000 a month, you can then start to scale that. So you can then look at your offer and say, can I scale this? How many people could I get in every single month? And especially if you've created a course or an online program or a group setting, you will have so much versatility to take that up to a 10K a month, easily in that span. So you can then grow by using your funnel and doing things like Facebook ads, or creating more of an awareness strategy, getting onto people's blogs, getting onto people's podcasts, creating YouTube videos, whatever it is. You can start to extend your reach because actually that automation is done. The sales process is there. All you need to do is feed people into the front end. And you can see how each of these pieces of the puzzle will build on each other and get you to the point where you are consistently earning the £2,000 months up to £5,000 months that you want in your business. But what you're not doing is you're not just running in gung-ho hoping to create a 10K month in your first month of business. when actually you haven't done the nervous system work, you haven't done the kind of deep thinking about your client and what they need and the solutions that you can have for them and the way you can position information. One of the biggest issues in the world right now is that information is so readily available that people are always looking for something unique, something different, something they haven't heard before. And if you're coming into the online market now, you have to have something valuable to add. You have to be willing to always be learning, always be curating and putting your perspective on things and going really deep into how can I truly add value in this world, rather than just, oh, how can I give people, 3 tips and then get them to like pay me money. Like that would have worked 5-10 years ago in the online space when this was all very new and very novel. Now it's a completely different world that we live in. And as a new entrepreneur, I want you to understand what you're coming into. I want you to understand the world that we're creating and what this world looks like, because not enough entrepreneurs actually speak the truth of the journey. They are so caught up in like, oh, look at this, I scaled my business overnight and I had this amazing result. But they're not talking about the 5 years before, while they were working part-time and doing their business part-time and, going through this like journey of really understanding the market and learning and relating with people. So we really have to think about how do we nail these 4 foundations to earn the 2K. Once we've got the 2K consistently, then we scale, because then we know what we have works. We know that it's scalable. It's a consistent income rather than just like a once off that just happened to be lucky. It's actually something that we can say every single month, this works for me, and that means that there's something here to dive into and grow. And that's what I want for you. I want you to be able to grow a business that literally gives you all of the desires, options, amazing life that you want to live. So if you have enjoyed this, firstly, I have got a 40-page business guide that is free for you to download. So grab click the link below and you can grab your copy straight into your email box. And secondly, if you want more updates and more information like this, then please subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you are following along and you will get a load more content like this in the coming weeks and months. I'll see you guys soon.